No, all new phones. So, oh yeah, go.
Because
That gap is gonna 112.
so if it's true, so
Good evening and welcome to the September 4th, 2025 meeting of the City of Summit Zoning Board of Adjustment. My name is Scott Loikitz, and I'm the Zoning Board Chair. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. In accordance with New Jersey Statute 10:4-10, adequate notice of the special meeting has been provided to a newspaper record, been posted here in City Hall. This meeting is a judicial proceeding. Any questions or comments must be limited to the issues that are relevant to what the board may legally consider in reaching a decision, and decorum appropriate to a judicial hearing must be maintained at all times. For the benefit of the interested public, this meeting is being live streamed on the city's YouTube page, also broadcast on Summit's government channel, which is Comcast Channel 34, Verizon Channel 30. A transcript of this meeting is also being taken using video and audio, so we need all speakers to utilize one of the microphones in this room. Please note that the fire exits are to my right, your left, and at the back of the room where you entered. The city has a listening system to assist the hearing impaired. If anyone needs hearing assistance, please obtain the system at the dais, return it thereafter. Ms. Sands, please call the roll of members.
Vice Chairs on.
Here.
Mr. Yuko?
Here.
Mr. Millay is excused. Mr. Nelson?
Here.
Mr. Curran?
Here.
Ms. Chifo is excused. Mr. Feskins is excused. Mr. Chanchuli?
here.
Mr. Nearing?
Here.
Chairman Loikitz.
Here.
You have a quorum. You may proceed.
Thank you, Ms. Sands. Andy Ball is the zoning board's attorney. Mr. Ball advises the board on matters of law and is the key interface with the applicant's attorney. Mr. Ball does not vote on these applications. Jessica Sands is a city employee and is the zoning board secretary. Our board secretary works with the applicants on preparing their applications, planning our agendas, and keeping our meeting minutes. The board secretary also does not vote on these applications. Also present are our experts who are hired annually by the board to provide input. Tonight we have Marie Raffet from Collier's Engineering. Also present is Ed Snikis from Burgess Associates, and he's our board planner. These experts are seated at the table to the right of this board, to the public's left. They also don't vote on these applications. Our board consists of 7 regular members and up to 4 alternates. All members can participate in the hearings tonight, but a maximum of 7 can vote. Most applications require a simple majority to be approved. Before we enter into executive session to vote on these applications, you will be advised of how many votes are required for approval. Each case will begin with the applicants or their attorney giving an overview of the application process to date and the variances that are required. We then hear from any additional expert witnesses the applicant may have to help explain the application and why the variances are needed. The board experts, followed then by the board members themselves, may ask questions of the applicant, their attorney, and their expert witnesses. Due to recent cases running excessively long, we strongly encourage applicants and their experts to give brief and concise testimony so we may get to as many cases as possible in a given evening. Once the board members and the board professionals have completed their questioning, the public will have an opportunity to ask questions. It's not the time to tell us what you think about this case. That will come later. Please be careful as how you phrase your questions. They should not be preceded with a statement about the case, but should be a direct question to the witness. Also, before you ask your questions, we ask that you please clearly state your name, spell your last name, provide your address. It's important that our court reporter, who's behind that wall, be able to keep a clear and accurate public record. After all witnesses have been heard, members of the audience have their second opportunity to speak, and at that time you may express your opinion, positive or negative, about the application. Then the public hearing is closed and we enter into executive session. This is where the board members discuss the case and then vote. You'll be able to listen in on our executive session, but you will not normally be able to participate in our discussion. I'm now going to ask that each applicant and/or their attorney, if present, come up and give a brief synopsis of their anticipated testimony tonight including the number of witnesses and whether or not they can finish their presentation within 30 minutes. So we'll begin tonight with 112 Essex Road. Oh, hi, you could just, yeah, stand there.
Yeah, so you said a brief synopsis of,
Yeah.
yeah, we just have our architect, Mr. Kelly, and the two of us, no other witnesses.
Okay, do you think you'll finish in 30 minutes or less?
Yes.
All right, excellent. We'll get to you soon. Thank you. Next, 4 Hughes Place.
Good evening. I'm requesting 2 C variances. It's going to be very short, definitely less than 30 minutes. I have no witnesses.
All right, great, thank you.
Great.
Talk to you soon. 58 Valley View.
Good evening, Samantha Alfonso here on behalf of the applicants, and we hope to only be 30 minutes. I have the applicants, their pool contractor, hopefully, and the engineer.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
And finally, 609 Springfield. Hi, welcome.
Hi, so I'm here with my husband with 609 Springfield, and we have our 2 witnesses, our architect and the engineer, and we'll definitely be able to finish within 30 minutes.
Perfect, that sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll talk to you soon. Okay, 112 Essex. Just come up to the dais and we'll swear you in. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Both of us?
If you're both going to testify, then we would swear you both in.
Okay, why don't we test it?
Just in case.
It never hurts.
All right, if you could each raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And one at a time, please state your name, spell your last name.
My last name is Ramanathan, Ramanathan.
My last name is Viswanathan, Viswanathan.
Thank you.
Great. Please tell us a little bit about your case.
Yeah, so we've been in Summit for, can we sit there?
Yes, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure you speak into the microphone. Thank you.
Pull closer maybe too. Yeah, thank you for having us. My wife Shilpa and I have been in Summit for 5 years, and we have 2 kids who are aged 9 and 6. For them, this is the home that they know, and they're very clear like this is the home they want to grow up in. As of now, our home has 2 bedrooms at the lower level and 2 bedrooms at the upper level, but those are sort of sloped. We want to move the entire family up and have 3 bedrooms on top so that the kids can also be up, and we can accommodate guests in the lower bedrooms when we have them.
Great. Any questions for this witness? Seeing none. All right, we'll talk to your architect. Thank you.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I can.
Please state your name, spell your last name.
Jack Kelly, K-E-L-L-Y.
Thank you, and you've appeared before us a number of times, including recently. I imagine no changes to your credentials since the last time you were here,
No changes.
and I imagine the board would accept you back once again.
We will. Welcome back, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you. You were not here last month.
I was not.
We missed you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the Ramanathans live on Essex Road, and as he mentioned, it's existing Cape Cod style house that was built in 1953. Has that 1950s kind of look to it. It's located in the R15 zone, and the lot area is just over 14,000 square feet at 14,015. The project involves 4 components. As he mentioned, we were going to, the primary one, reason why we're really here, is we want to remove the roof, the Cape Cod style roof with the dormers and all the slope ceilings, and create a true second floor with full height walls, 8 feet tall, and flat ceilings. Currently, the walls in the second floor are 4 feet 10, sloping up to about 7 feet. So it's really, feels like an attic, and there's a lot of unusable space. So, as he mentioned, their 2 children share a room on the first floor now, and they have the other bedroom. And the second floor they really use for their home office. The goal is to put the family all together on the second floor, create a bedroom for each child, and then 2 bathrooms, one for the parents and one for the children. This requires 1 variance for combined side yards, which I'll get to in a minute. So, number 2, we are looking to expand an existing sunroom in the back of the house, which is really kind of a porch, finished porch, I would say. It's constructed on a slab. It's not really properly heated or properly insulated. It feels like a porch that was filled in. That small addition to that room also requires the combined side yard variance. Okay? There's a small addition in the front to enlarge the entry. That addition requires no variances. And we're adding a portico. Once we have a 2-story style, colonial style house, a portico looks appropriate, and the portico does not require any variances. So those are the 4 components. I'm just going to go into this explanation of the combined side yard variance. In the R15 zone, you're required to have 15 feet on the right and 15 feet on the left as minimum setbacks. You're also required to have 35% of the lot width in your setbacks. In this case, that equals 36 feet and 1 inch. The current situation is 34.4 feet, and the proposed will also be 34.4. So the house is out of compliance as is. Again, the minimum setbacks are met, but we're a little bit shy on the combined side yards at 1.7 feet, which is 19 inches. We have prepared an additional exhibit that you don't have, which we can mark, or I can leave it, or whatever.
Yep, we'll mark that as A1.
Okay. So what we did is we highlighted the extent of the variance in blue. All right. So I just said that 1.7, we're 1.7 shy. 1.7 is in the rear corner, tapering down to the front corner, which is 1 foot. Okay, so it's a tiny sliver of the house. The even smaller sliver on the sunroom, the side yard setback there, the extent of the variance is 5 inches. So instead of the 36.1, we have 35.6, which is a variance of 5 inches.
In theory, Mr. Kelly, couldn't you split up that difference since it counts to both sides of the house?
I did it in the worst way, but
Okay.
yes. You could split the 1.7 into the left and to the right, which is about 10 inches on each side,
Okay.
but we're not adding on the right, so I chose to show it on the left.
Thank you.
The right-hand side of the house is a garage, and we're not changing it. So it's still 1 story. And actually, that's the worst setback. The setbacks on the left are larger than the one on the right. So the extent of the variance is rather small, I would say. We also took a measurement between their house and the house to the left, just to see what distance we had from house to house. And that is 32 feet and 7 inches, which is more than the minimum 15 and 15 on both lots. So this is not really an imposition on their neighbor at 32 feet 7 from house to house. One other number I'll give you is the increase in height. Again, there is a partial second floor there now. So the increase in height is only 7 feet. The existing house is 23 feet tall, and the proposed house would be 30 feet tall. So that's well under the 35-foot standard.
Mr. Kelly, are there other houses, either next to this one or across the street, that are similar in height or demonstrate a clear second story?
Yes, I was going to get to that, but yes.
okay.
This part of Essex Road, there's a mix. I mean, their house next door to them is a split level. The house to the right of them is another Cape Cod. A couple houses down the street, the houses were torn down, and there are large 2-story houses. Just maybe two houses, not the split level, but the next one, was a tear down. So that part of Essex Road, there's been a few tear downs. And so then what do they build? They build a two-story house.
Great.
So I think it'll fit with the neighborhood very nicely. I was going to ask Mr. Ball this question, but I'll ask it now. So we need a variance for this second-story addition of a certain amount, and we need a variance for the first-story addition of a different amount. So I don't know what kind of variance do we get? The variance for the bigger one, and that encompasses the smaller one, or
So
would,
we would usually phrase it as one overarching combined side yard variance, but just note the distinct, distances of, to the smaller portion of the addition as well as to the larger portion.
Okay.
But yeah, so overall, we'll treat it as one combined yard setback variance.
okay, thank you. When I was putting my notes together, I didn't know how that would be, how you would phrase that. I can go through the other additions. We're really just trying to make the sunroom in the back a more usable room. We're going to add heat and air conditioning to it. We're going to raise the floor so it's not on a slab, put in proper windows. And really, we're going to make some other improvements throughout the house. All the windows will probably be replaced. We have to replace the roof, so we'll do a nicer roof. And we may replace the siding. So there's going to be an overall enhancement to the whole property. We also will be upgrading the heating and cooling systems. I have to put in a second system for the second floor. And we'll also be able to upgrade the insulation to today's standards. Some other positive aspects, I think, besides what I just said. We are under building coverage, under floor area ratio, under lot coverage. There's virtually no change in the lot coverage. There's virtually no change in the grading, no change in the drainage, no change in water runoff, because basically we're adding up. And the addition in the rear replaces a patio, and the addition in the front replaces a platform and steps. So there's actually a small decrease, decrease in lot coverage. One other number I didn't say out loud is the blue area is 53 square feet. It's a tiny amount on a 14,000 square foot lot. And the blue area in the sunroom is 8 square feet, which is almost negligible. So I think that this proposal could be considered, and without any detriment to the neighborhood. I think it would fit into the neighborhood very nicely. And I don't see it as an imposition on their immediate neighbors or the neighborhood in general. I think it's a nice improvement and a very, very small variance.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Ed, Marie, you have any questions for this witness?
What is the existing and proposed lot coverage that you're doing on the property?
The existing is 28.1, and the proposed is 27.9. So slight decrease.
So you have a slight decrease in your lot coverage?
Yes.
Okay, so since there is a decrease in their lot coverage, they're not required to comply with any of the stormwater regulations that you have on your ordinance, so I'm fine with that.
Great. Thank you.
Just two quick questions. Regarding the change to the heating and ventilation system, do you anticipate any new changes to the AC units?
I forgot to mention that.
Location?
I think you mentioned it.
Yes.
We would, I don't know about the age of what they have now, but I'm going to need a new one for the second floor. And your letter mentions screening.
Yeah, will it be put in a compliant location and will you screen?
Yes, and yes.
Great.
Any tree removal anticipated?
No.
Okay, thank you.
It's amazing, we had no, other than Ed's report, we had almost no comments from the city.
We noticed.
Sorry, Ed.
Mr. Kelly, would you describe the changes to the architecture based on the addition of the second floor as consistent with the spirit of the DRO and the design guidelines?
Yes, absolutely. And the HPC echoed that.
Great. Any questions from the board for this witness?
Just a silly question. What's creating the extra square footage if you're not building any new walls or anything, other than on the sun porch? If I look at this, the sun porch says a 4-foot addition.
Yes.
That's the only thing that's creating.
We're adding 4 feet to the rear and 4 feet in the other direction as well. Well, I'm sorry, there's a small addition in the front.
The portico.
Yeah,
right?
no, there's a small addition to the foyer, to enlarge the foyer, because it's extremely cramped.
Okay.
And of course, the new second floor is larger than the old second floor, but.
And I think you mentioned this, but even in the area where there is construction, your side yard setback is over the 15-foot minimum. The only reason you're here for a variance is because you're not having that extra buffer of a little extra. But on each side, even with construction, you have over 15 feet of side yard setback. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we will.
Thank you.
Remember, mostly we're going up.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the audience for this witness? Seeing none. Okay. Is there anything that you'd like to say in summation?
Just thank you for listening to us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Great. Annie, can you go through conditions and number of votes required?
Yes, so the only condition I have noted is our usual, and I'm double checking as right now, there was no engineering memorandum, so never mind, I do not have any conditions.
Okay.
This is a C variance, so 4 votes are required to approve the application.
All right, let's enter into executive session, and I'm sure this will be a barn burner. Go ahead, Tom.
So I say this once in a while, I wish all cases were this simple and this easy and this minor. I sometimes feel bad that people come for such small things, but it is a variance, so you have to come. As the engineer has noted, there's no impact on the stormwater. Forester says no screening, or that your screening is adequate, you don't need any additional screening. As mentioned, the HBC finds that you design, losing at Cape Cod, it's not a historic structure, so the HBC had no concerns with it. It's keeping with the guidelines and the look of the neighborhood. There are no bulk variances. Those get attention if there's a lot coverage or FAR or something like that, or height. You have none of that. So it's a very small variance, very nice project, improve the house, improve the neighborhood, so I can support it.
Yeah, also can support it, pretty straightforward. I think considering it's an undersized lot in our 15 zone, if you were the full 15,000, you probably wouldn't be sitting here today, so pretty straightforward. Thanks.
This side?
I can support this project as well. So, my cohorts worded it a lot better than I could ever.
Great.
I can support it as well. It's a lot of bang for a little bit of buck, so.
Thank you, Mr.
I'll move to approve. If
Great.
Anybody else wants to say anything?
I'll second it.
Jessica, you please call the roll.
Vice Chair Zahn,
Yes.
Mr. Yuko,
Yes.
Mr. Nelson,
Yes.
Mr. Curran,
Yes.
Mr. Chanchuli,
Yes.
Mr. Neering,
Yes.
Chairman Lakets.
Yes. Good luck. Thank you. All right. Next, can we get 4 Hughes Place, please?
We just need that exhibit A1. Okay. All right, if you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And please state your name, spell your last name.
Manny Maleki, Maleki. I reside at 4 Hughes Place in Summit.
Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you for, may I start? And thank you for reviewing and processing my request for variance applications. I moved to Summit in 1999, and except for a few years, I've lived in Summit and raised a family. And I live currently at 4 Hughes Place since 2012. I'm seeking 2 C variances. Both variances are for front yard setback. The first is for construction of a dormer on the second floor to serve as a bathroom, servicing the 2 existing second-floor bedrooms. Currently, any occupants on the second floor must travel down the stairs to access the first-floor bathroom, which for the elderly and kids poses safety concerns, especially during the night. 4 Hughes Place is a small Cape Cod-style house with the majority of the second floor occupied with low-ceiling attics. Only 47% of the second floor is used as a living space, thus requiring installation of this proposed dormer. The dormer's entire floor area will be built within the 28 feet by 28 feet footprint of the main frame area of the house and will not add additional square footage to the second floor. The proposed dormer will maintain the same roof ridge line as the existing dormer, which is located on the other side of the roof, which is the bedroom, one of the bedrooms, and will be symmetrical to the overall building appearance. Furthermore, the dormer does not create any noticeable visual obstructions to my neighbors or to the public. The other C variance is for placement of an AC unit on the east side of the house facing Baltusrol Road. 4 Hughes Place is a corner house positioned in an odd angle. The east wall is facing Baltusrol, west wall facing Hughes Place, and north wall facing both Baltusrol and Hughes Street. Therefore, 4 Hughes Place has 3 front yards. The only backyard side of the house, the south side, has a limited space for AC placement that positions it under the first floor bedroom window and facing my next door neighbor's bedroom located on 8 Hughes Place. The proposed east side location is the only side that is fenced, thus providing a visual barrier from all sides hiding the AC unit. It is also a shaded area that enhances AC operation and efficiency, lowering electrical usage and environmental impacts. I open the floor to any questions.
Ed, Marie, do you have any questions for this witness?
Are you adding any additional impervious coverage to your property aside from the AC units?
I'm looking at your bulk criteria, your zoning analysis. It looks like you comply with the FAR requirement of the overall. And I think you've addressed in your direct testimony the AC unit. I believe that was the extent of our questions. Is the roof pitch going to be the same as the roof pitch or the roof below?
Not the below, but it's going to be the same roof pitch as the bedroom on the other side.
Okay.
And to reduce that, I have only the clearance inside the bedroom, which is going to be the same height, is only 6 feet 8 inches. So to change the pitch, either the ridge line is going to be above the main ridge line, or I have to lower the ceiling, which make the space inaccessible.
Would significantly reduce that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Questions from the board? Tom?
Yeah, one actually for Ed first. I couldn't hear everything you just said about the AC unit. So Ed, your report says, if approved, the proposed AC unit in the front yard must be screened with dense landscaping and fencing.
Right.
You go on to say the area in question is enclosed what appears to be a 4-foot-high solid wood fence. Was your exchange about changing any of that, or?
No, not about changing that. What I was asking about is not really regarding that, because he had indicated it's going to be behind the fence, correct?
Correct.
From the road, so therefore it is screened by that fence as a result. And I believe you provided an illustration of that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
With an arrow, yes.
Okay, that was all I had. Okay.
Anyone? No? All right, great. Excellent. Any questions from the public for this witness? Seeing none. All right, anything you want to say in summation?
No, thank you for your time.
Right, great. Mr. Ball, any conditions and number of votes?
I believe, but we'll confirm no engineering report on this one either, so I have no conditions noted. Once again, number of votes, we only have C variances, 4 votes are required to approve.
Excellent.
Can I just ask a question about conditions?
Of course.
Moving forward with these applications, can we require they put a house number on the house? I know it's part of the CO inspection,
I think that's part of the building code already, isn't it?
but a lot of the houses we go to, they don't have house numbers on them.
I don't know, that falls
Is that
within
something
our
we can do, or-
jurisdiction.
Well, you could ask for it, right?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
required under a CO.
Right,
So,
I mean, so that's your enforcement mechanism already. I don't know that it's not technically a
Okay.
zoning requirement, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend
Okay.
tying it into our
That's fine.
resolutions, but.
Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Great. Jessica, can you please call the roll?
Vice Chair Zahn,
Yes.
Mr. Yuko,
Yes.
Mr. Nelson,
yes.
Mr. Kieran,
Yes.
Mr. Chanchuli,
Yes.
Mr. Nearing,
Yes.
Chairman Liketz.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
58 Valley View, please.
Will it connect, or do I need to do something new today?
Hope not.
It says it's connected.
Don't worry, it'll come on as soon as you're done with your initial presentation.
Well, so we don't stop our record timing here. If I'll just start and we can use the board if that's okay.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Samantha Alfonso of Alfonso and Weber, here on behalf of the applicants, Greer and Michael Hines. They are looking to install a pool and patio area. To do that, their yard steeps significantly. They have a lot of steep slopes. It's 9,233 square feet of steep slopes that exceed 15%. They're proposing to disturb just what they need to for the pool and patio, and that's 5,616 square feet, about 18% of the overall site. So the net increase in coverage is about 1,300 square feet, although that would only require one dry well. Technically, they're actually going to put 3 in. I know the plans showed 2, but they took a look at it again and asked Rudy to take another look and see if he could add even more retention on site, and he said that he can. So he'll talk more detail about that change, but it will just add more to the stormwater system that's already proposed. I had a chance to speak with John Linson this morning. I know there are 2 reports. The second report, I believe he was looking at the concept plan that did not show the species and the
Right.
details that the actual landscape plan shows. So he said it's okay for me to let you guys know. His first report stands. He's fine with the landscape plan. And we're, of course, happy with the condition to make sure that he's happy with the final plan and he can sign off on it as part of compliance.
The final plan that has listed the quantity and species.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
that's
And that
dated-
was
that
already
dated-
filed. He had reviewed it 6/13. He issued his report based on that plan.
That's the one dated May 1st.
I'm sorry.
That's the one dated May 1st, I believe. Am I looking at the right one?
Yes, the plan, yes. Thank you. Okay. If the board doesn't have any immediate questions of me, we could hear from the applicants.
Sure, let's do it. All right, great.
Okay.
We're going to swear you in.
If you could each raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And one at a time, please state your name, spell your last name.
Greer Hines, Hynes.
And Michael Hines, Michaelhynes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank
Please
you.
proceed.
Thank you. You guys, could you just confirm you own the property together with your family, right?
Yes, we do.
And could you describe the existing conditions and what you're proposing here?
We have a very steep slope going down into a lawn in our back and comes off of our driveway. And so what we're proposing is to put in an in-ground pool kind of within the hill. And obviously it'll disturb some of the steep slope, it'll disturb some of the trees, but it'll give us an opportunity to make our backyard more functional, have more space for our kids, our family. We've lived in Summit for 21 years. We love it here. We have no intention of going anywhere. And so we were like, why not try to make our space that we live in now, what we're looking for to be in here for a long time.
Thank you. And I know we're looking at the plan, but could you just show everybody, just point to where the pool is? It's the big blue square, right?
Is that the technical term, Ms. Alfonso?
Big blue square.
I just want, if we can you hear me okay if I
Yes.
talk loud?
Maybe use the
Let me grab
standing
it.
mic.
Just turn the little toggle on it. Is that okay? Okay.
Yep, perfect.
So I just want to make sure it's clear what is existing, because the driveway already exists, this patio exists, there are actually stairs here existing, but they're going to be replaced and tucked in towards the patio. This patio is new, proposed for the pool, and these retaining walls are proposed to create that flat area for the pool and patio.
Great.
That's right?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. And you asked, we had talked about fences. There was a question about the kind of fence. So I do have photos of the proposed, but since my computer isn't working, there are two types of fences that
we're
you're
looking
considering
into,
right
yeah,
now, and you're
yeah.
not sure which.
Right, right.
And they're both sort of wrought iron aluminum, right? The typical, one has a straight slat and one has a vertical slat,
Yes,
right? Or
correct.
horizontal. One's vertical, one's horizontal. If the board wants to see it, I could show my iPad around. It's not set in stone yet. They are still considering, but of course it would be pool compliant and construction code compliant, and would be part of, it could be part of compliance as well if you want to see the fence detail. Did you have a chance to review the administrative reports?
Yes, I did.
And you agree to be bound by them, subject to any of your experts?
Yes, I will.
And you spoke to your neighbors as well?
Yes, we did.
And I think there was just one question, right? And you're actually keeping the trees that you
Yes.
asked about?
Yes.
And you engaged professionals to assist you with this application, and a few of them
Yes.
are here, I think, to help, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Board professionals, any questions for these witnesses? All
No, not at this time.
Not for this witness.
right, great. Board, any questions for these witnesses? All right. Seeing none, any questions from the public? Seeing none. Samantha, please, your next witness.
Thank you, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, that works perfect. Since we have Barry Mason here, the pool contractor, and Rudy Holtzman. Maybe we could have them both sworn in,
Sure.
since they're both
If you
here.
could each raise your right hand. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give in this matter, the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And one at a time, please state your name, spell your last name.
Barry Morrison, M-E-R-S-O-N.
Thank you.
Rudy Holzman, H-O-L-Z-M-A-N-N.
Thank you. I guess we will get to, we might as well do it now. Mr. Holzman, I know you recently appeared before the board. Your credentials were accepted at that time. Any changes to your credentials since the last time you were here?
No.
Any questions from the board, or would you like to accept them back once again?
We would. Welcome back.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Rudy, you're familiar with the application. Could you just go through a little bit for the record, how you gained that familiarity and how you proposed, how you came up with this plan?
Sure.
It is working, I think it's just low.
My office prepared the topographic plan and worked with the pool contractor Barry and Michael and Greer on coming up with fine tuning a location for the pool and the patio based on kind of the patio size and the pool they would like. It was understood that walls would be required along with some steep slope disturbance. So we did actually review the steep slope ordinance, all the relevant stormwater management, erosion, surface water runoff impacts, and came up with this this particular location and the surrounding system to accommodate the increase in coverage.
And then they went and asked you to add another dry well, right?
Yeah, after we received the review and looked at considering the ability to add that dry well, and the request to make sure we're accommodating the roof drainage, we added that dry well right at the same location. You can see on the plan here, it's just parallel, in line with the existing system. And we could do that without increasing the steep slope disturbance and the limited disturbance quantities that you currently see on the plan in front of you. So I guess to get a little more into the collection system, you can see the patio between the pool and the driveway. We'd be collecting that specific area, the drainage system tying right in. Also, we're collecting the driveway area with an existing inlet that exists there. Nature of the site, there's a high point probably right about here. So half of the house drains, roof drains go to the back. The front portion goes towards the front yard. The same with the driveway. There's a hump about here that drains out to the street. So the project is focused all on the rear yard. And then as far as the quantity of steep slope disturbance, I could switch over to sheet 2 of the engineering plans. Right behind the driveway, it's pretty safe in the existing condition. That slope will be kind of maintained, but we are going to disturb and regrade and stabilize that with landscaping. Then a 3-foot, 4-foot wall at the back of the patio. Patio's flat, pool, and then the pool is surrounded by grass and landscaping, except for the patio. And then below that, a 2-tiered wall that ties into the existing grades at the site. That 2-tiered wall will be composed of stacked boulders and doesn't exceed 4 feet in height. this part of it, this part of the wall, the two-tiered wall is 3 foot height each, with a space of 6 feet in between the two-tiered walls. That area will be landscaped and maintained with grass, landscaping, and we stabilize after construction. And that's basically that's a flat area between the two-tiered wall. So to address the steep slopes, by flattening out the area around the pool and having that tiered wall system, we're providing some more of an opportunity for runoff to percolate in the ground, which you would expect in a flat area. The soil testing showed positive results, nice sandy soil with gravel, and in addition to the natural ground percolation, all the impervious areas will be managed through that system. And then as far as tree removal goes, sheet 3 indicates the trees that were indicated to be removed. Those are all within that footprint of the impervious area. There's an effort to really try to save all the trees on the perimeter of the site. So as you can see, the grading tines will work, and that's one of the reasons this location was chosen. So the grading tines don't have to cut or fill the soil kind of in that side yard setback area, and we could maintain the trees in that side area.
There was a question on if we could save that one tree, but it's actually really close to where the wall is gonna go, so you really can't, right?
The cedar tree was mentioned, unfortunately, it lands right on where one of the walls need to be in order to protect, the walls are minimized to the extent they can be, but unfortunately, there's a tree located right where the wall needs to be.
Do you want to go through the engineer's report? Would you like to go through it, or do you want us to? However you prefer.
Well,
It might be easier if Marie just asked questions.
is that all right? Okay.
Yes, of course.
All right. So you're adding in another seepage pit and collecting the roof runoff. All of the roof runoff, a portion of it?
A portion, I was able to quantify that actually, and it was about 1,600 square feet. I have another exhibit actually that I could show if you'd like. I know you didn't get a chance to review it, but I quantified that, and I quantified the volume of the third dry well, and I was able to see that it would accommodate the actual drainage area from the roof and portion of the driveway and patio collected.
Okay, so he's correct. I haven't looked at that, to see if the added impervious coverage from the roof can be accommodated in that, but, we can work together to make sure that there's enough in there. So you have, the design that I reviewed had a scour hole for any potential overfill on the seepage pit. Is that still going to remain?
Correct, yes.
Okay, all right. So the configuration is basically the same. Could you tell me a little bit about that existing driveway drain? I don't know where it went to before, but you're going to intercept that at some point?
Correct, yeah. That driveway drain drains to the slope. That drain has some volume. It's a form of a dry well. It has an open bottom, I was able to observe, but we're not relying on that directly as part of this design. But that driveway drain, which you see empties into the slope, will be intercepted and capped and removed at the end portion.
Okay, thank you. Could you tell me a little bit about the existing swale that is on the right side of the property, and how that might be incorporated into this? It says that it's to remain.
Yeah, I was able to observe that swale mostly functions to capture some of the runoff from the side slope on the driveway along with the neighbors, some of the drainage from the neighbor. So in that sense, the point of that note is to maintain that particular swale and the pipe that's at that swale. It's stable area, you know, we call it as a wash, but it appears to be stabilized.
So is it fair to say that the drainage that is going to be on the site afterward in relation to that swale is going to be the same as existing?
Correct.
Are you having drainage behind the retaining walls?
Yes, for surface drainage, there's the ability to put in somewhat of a swale directed from the middle of the walls towards the ends, but that'll be supplemented with perforated HDPE pipe, as indicated in the builder wall detail, and that will be able to daylight within the limit of disturbance at both basically both corners of the limit of disturbance near the side property line.
I noticed you have a note on the plans about a 6-inch PVC that's on the right-hand side of the property that collects the roof drains. Is that the one that, is that going to be then abandoned and capped off?
No, it appears that the 6-inch PVC pipe right near the property line appears to be associated with the neighbor and not directly tied. It's not collecting the roof drains from the subject property.
Okay, so you're not intending on moving that or
Correct,
changing
to be
that?
maintained as is, right?
Okay. Just see if there's anything else. No, I think that's all I had. Thank you.
Great.
Chairman, just a few questions. Regarding the location of the pool and its area, it's complying with all the setback requirements, correct?
Correct.
Of the pool requirements. It seems to be that, from your professional opinion, there are steep slopes located right adjacent to the driveway for the property. There isn't, or the only other area that's available for the location of the pool is down below, further down the slope? That's not in the steep slopes?
Yeah, this map
Yeah.
shows that the steep slopes kind of end somewhere within the middle of the existing lawn area. But what we found is that moving it there, we'd still be triggering the steep slope variance. It would be over 1,000 square feet just to get to that point, have the pool at the elevation with stairs and a level patio.
In addition to that, you have a unique condition of the way the driveway is configured. It takes up a good portion of the side as well as a portion of the rear property. Correct.
Correct.
The tree removal that's indicated on the plan, and I was trying to follow your testimony with regard to that. Is it a total of 7 trees that are being removed or 6?
Total of 7. I believe there's an X missing from tree number 39.
And I think that was the tree you were trying to save, right?
Yeah.
The retaining walls, and I believe that's the 7th. Okay, thank you. I think that's all I have.
Great, thank you, Ed. Board, questions for this witness?
I have a question. So maybe two-part question. What year was the house built? Or do you know?
1933.
And I guess because my observation of the backyard is that there are a lot of steep slopes, but this one is a drop-off, sort of, which, do you think that this, in a way, it appears like a retaining wall already without a retaining wall, in that this was probably filled in to construct the house? Is that, or do you think that that's just the topography of the neighborhood? It looked to me like maybe the lot had, there had been time ago an attempt to flatten the lot to make it buildable or more, functional for the home.
It's certainly possible that to some extent there was fill and grading done as part of the driveway construction, the garage under and the rear yard. But with the mature trees on that slope, you could tell it's been there quite a while.
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah, I have a question. So obviously, there's a lot of effort being put into landscaping here because, you know, people use a pool, don't necessarily want people watching them using the pool, and, you know, and so it's a very effective plan. And the landscaper, and I accept Ms. Alfonso's representation that Mr. Linson's original comments apply, but we're going to get that in writing, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So he says that perimeter screening is adequate to shield the proposed improvements. I wonder if I get your opinion too. I mean, in terms of the direct neighbors, obviously from the front, I don't think much can be seen in the backyard. The direct neighbors, what would there be visibility of the retaining wall and or the pool? I mean, do you have an opinion on that?
It shouldn't be, right? Because it's gonna be how many feet? 85 feet away from the rear yard and very far away from all the neighbors. They already have that existing tree line. Not to answer for you, Rudy, but
Yeah, I agree. And what I noticed, there's a lot of well-maintained, well-built stone walls on the site right now with a lot of landscaping. And I walked the site and I'm looking at the walls. You don't really see them too much in the site, so I think the walls we're proposing will effectively match a lot of what's there now. And just based on a distance, I don't expect them to really be seeing a significant wall that's an obtrusive height.
Okay, all right. I think that's, give me 1 second here. Yeah, I think that's all I had.
Thank you. Don?
So, you had mentioned that in the lower lawn area, if you had proposed to put the pool there and the patio there, you would still require a steep slope, but would it be the same percentages or would it be less?
With the same exact size pool and patio, it's difficult to say. It'd be in the ballpark. I mean, I'm comfortable saying it'd be over 1,000 square feet. But one of the things that we found is, you know, the soils back there are suitable for the dry wells. And we think that's a better spot than if we're, you know, within these steeper slopes. So that's another thing that we considered when putting the whole location together.
so you did the perk test already, right? And tell them the number.
We found 11 inches per hour for the.
11 inches per hour.
Where was that taken, in the steep slope, where the pool's going?
Yeah.
Or where the,
No, back
Back
In the lawn area?
Yeah, the lawn area,
Okay.
behind where
Sorry.
the pool and patio and walls in.
and then the neighbor that's behind them, is there a difference in elevation between their backyard? Are they lower?
Correct, they're lower back here. These trees, there's a tree line here, landscaping that provides somewhat of a buffer. So I didn't see any direct drainage or signs of erosion along this property line. I see a maintained lawn directly behind.
Okay.
Any questions from the public for this witness? Seeing none?
Unless the board has any questions of Rudy or Barry, I think we can wrap our presentation.
Great.
The other witness is the pool contractor, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and we, my company did the original landscape design and the plant layouts in conjunction with our landscape architect. So that's really why I'm here.
Great.
I appreciate it.
And I would assume all construction has to be done over your over the current driveway
Yes,
and down the hill?
yes. Yeah, there's no possibility for a stone construction access of any kind. The only way in and out of that yard is the driveway.
Okay. Great. Mr. Ball?
Did we open to the public for those two witnesses?
We could.
Yes.
Technically, for the record, probably should.
Yes. Anyone in the public care to make public comment? Seeing none? Okay.
Okay. I have 3 potential conditions noted. First is compliance with conditions noted in the board engineer's memorandum. Second is that the final landscaping plan shall be submitted to the city forester for review and approval. And third, the final stormwater management plan shall be submitted to the board engineer for review and approval.
Great, thank you.
And once again, C variance only, 4 votes are required to approve.
Who would like to begin?
Just one question, the final stormwater report, was the difference just he added, what was the difference? What
So-
was,
The additional dry well.
that's what I thought, that
Right.
was all it was?
He added
Okay.
an additional dry well, but he added more volume to it. So he's putting more water in it from the roof area, so I haven't checked those calculations, just to be sure that everything's fine.
Okay.
It's oversized though, right? If anything,
Right,
it
right.
should be, but we want to make sure you
That's,
have the right
that's what he testified,
calculations.
right?
Mr. Curran?
Thanks. Yeah, I think it's a thoughtful plan, good use of the property. Unfortunately, there's a steep slope, but I think the owners are addressing stormwater adequately, so I can support this.
Tom?
Yeah, I think I can support it too. I mean, it is a large steep slope variance, but they seem to be, based on testimony, to be confirmed that they're going overboard in dealing with stormwater, which is something we like to see. It's a beautiful landscaping plan. I can't wait to, if I can sneak back there and look at it when it's done. It's a beautiful landscaping plan. And I think it is a better attractive use of the property. I think the fact that, we can't always conclude much from the neighbors not being here. You never know for sure why they're not here, but you'd think if people were up in arms about this, somebody would be here. So it sounds like they're not concerned about the screening or the activity. So like I said, well, I'm usually reserved about large steep slope variances, but they do seem to be going overboard in addressing it, so I can support it as well.
Yeah, I could support this as well. I know I've gone on record about saying how we don't want Summit to look like a Minecraft town. And, that's kind of what I think about when I see request for steep slope variance. In this case, that's not really what I'm seeing. This is, almost like transferring the line, moving it into a different spot on your yard, but kind of looking at the yard, it was, I won't say like a sheer face, but it's a pretty, one of the, almost a wall, and then drops off to a flat yard. Pretty hard to work with without, what you guys are proposing. And it is a thoughtful plan. I think that we can say that it is maybe an exceptional topographic feature to have as sharp, I'll call it, I don't want to call it a cliff, but it's pretty, you have the stairs there to access the lower part of the yard, but this will make everything more functional. So yes, I can support this.
I agree with my colleagues. I can to support this application. Definitely thoughtful landscape design, but I'm most impressed by the efforts put forth. Stormwater management clearly worked on the plan very carefully, and to me, it seems like it will be a success. So with that, I will ask for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Jessica, can you
Who are
please?
we giving the second to?
Mr. Nearing
Okay.
entered the chat. Ms. Sands, can you please call the roll?
Yes. Vice Chair Zahn?
Yes.
Mr. Yuko?
Yes.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Curran?
Yes.
Mr. Chanchuli?
Yes.
Mr. Nearing?
Yes.
Chairman Liketz?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys.
Yes.
All right. 609 Springfield.
Appreciate your comments, because I spent a year and a half developing this design.
It shows.
Very
It shows.
grateful for you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll give those guys a second to.
swear you both in at this point. If you could raise your right hand. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do, yeah.
And one at a time, please state your name and spell your last name.
My name is Jessica Lindeman, spelled Lindeman.
And Todd Lindeman, Lindeman.
Thank you.
Welcome. Please tell us a little bit about your application.
You want to go?
Definitely.
All right, I'll kick it off. Well, thank you in advance for considering our proposal. We love our house. We've been in Summit since 2019. Our house is nearing 140 years old, and the last major improvement to the home was a little over 100 years ago. And here we are, you know, wanting to make a historic or put our signature onto the house while honoring the architecture and the vocabulary of the house and bringing greater form and function to the land and to the property itself. And with those improvements, Jess can talk about those.
Sure. So on a personal level, we're the basis of what we're asking permission to do, what we're proposing, is to move the very long driveway, which would then give us the enjoyment of a private side yard, a deck area, and on the east side of the house, and then on the west side, on the High Street side of the house, would provide us with a garage, which we don't currently have. The garage would be attached to the home, and it would also include ground level storage, which for gardening equipment, which we don't currently have, which I currently have, it's carrying it up and down the basement stairs. This also provides us with a much shorter driveway, and the driveway would then access onto High Street, which is a quieter street. In addition to that, to our personal enjoyment of it, we also feel this will be a much improved look for the lot. Right now, the driveway is quite long and takes up quite a lot of the land, and it's a wide open space. What we're proposing in creating the side yard will, in addition to the landscaping plan, would provide more shrubs, more visual screening, and to me, a nicer look. On the High Street side, what our architect has put together in our opinion, is a big improvement to that side of the house. Right now, it's wide open. There's just a picket fence there. Our two AC units are, visible from the side. The garage and basement access would be much more visually appealing, and then the landscape plan would actually be adding visual screening, which doesn't currently exist. So that about sums up our interest. We really feel it's such a distinctive home. It's on a very visible corner lot. The front architecture of the home is so beautiful. The lot itself and the rear of the lot, we feel, is lacking and needs visual improvement, and to kind of bring up to standard of what the community shows. That sums up our synopsis, and then just to let you know, I had a very clear vision for the landscaping, and so I put the landscaping plan together. And in response to the comments that we received, I did update that landscaping plan, and you don't currently have that in front of you. I'm happy to answer to that, or to those comments, or any questions you have, or I can
Do you have
provide a
copies?
copy.
Yes,
I
we
do.
love copies.
Okay.
Which we will mark as A1.
Okay, would you like those?
Yes, please, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just out of curiosity,
Yes.
do you have a background in landscape design, or is it just a personal passion?
No background. I just knew what I wanted, and I feel really passionate about transitioning the yard to native plants. We don't have a sprinkler system. I don't want to put in a sprinkler system. I want it to be natural and have a very clean appearance from the sidewalk, but also be low maintenance, and there's a lot of beautiful native plants.
Yes.
So I just felt I didn't need a landscape architecture to tell me that.
Okay. No, that's fine. Thank you. Board professionals, any questions for these witnesses?
No, not at this time.
I would just say that as a landscape architect, I think you did a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you, Ed. Does the board have any questions for these witnesses?
And maybe this was addressed while I was looking something up. Can we add a condition for Ms. Swenson to review that report that design she submitted?
Done and done, Mr. Yuko. All right, you want to introduce your first witness?
I think we all know their first witness.
Oh, sure. And
Are we going to say he needs no introduction?
Never seen him before.
either gonna go
Never
well
seen
or
him
not.
before.
If you could please raise,
Again, I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
please raise your right hand. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
And please state your name and spell your last name.
Andrew Clark, Clarke.
Thank you, and you've appeared before us quite a number of times. I imagine no changes to your credentials since the last time you were here.
That's correct.
I imagine we'll accept them back once again.
100%. Welcome back, Mr. Clark.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I'll start off by saying what this application doesn't involve. Does not involve steep slopes or any particular regrading in walls of any sort. So that's a good starting point. All right, so I'll just walk through the existing and proposed conditions from the engineering and site work standpoint quickly. I think this will be pretty succinct. I conducted the survey. I'm making reference to my lot grading plan dated April 14th, 2025. And I prepared this plan. I first did the survey. I actually had done the initial survey, topographic survey for the previous owner, and then the Lindemans purchased it, and then we got involved in this design process after that. So I conducted the existing survey. As indicated, it's on the corner, the northeast corner of High Street and Springfield Avenue at 609 Springfield. It's in the R10 zone. What's existing is the dwelling that fronts on Springfield Avenue, and there's as described, a long driveway that comes to sort of the back end of the house. There is no garage existing. This entry is also sort of a little bit fuzzy, sort of shared driveway entrance with the neighbor on Springfield as well. And the topography of the site along High Street is a little unique in that the sidewalk, the lawn that's between the house and the sidewalk is a little bit lower than the sidewalk. So the sidewalk, and then it comes down to the house. It's just a little bit different grading arrangement, but it does drain all right, and it sort of comes in a gentle swale around the house towards Springfield Ave. So basically the whole site is mostly grading towards Springfield Ave. On the east side of the house, there's a little bit of a high point about midway up the house. That drains towards Springfield. The other sort of little corner of the lot drains to the back right corner, the northeast corner. But it's all very flat, generally speaking. There are some trees on site. There are a couple of large trees in the front, 36 and a 32-inch tree. Those are going to remain. They'll be undisturbed. And then there are 3 trees along the north side of the dwelling that would have to be removed in order to accommodate the proposed addition and driveway. So those are indicated on the existing conditions. Then the proposal is to remove this long driveway, tune up the neighbor's driveway so that it's 2 feet off the line as required by ordinance, which it's not now. So there'll be a slight modification to their driveway. And that driveway comes out, making way for a landscaped and lawn area in that east side of the house. And then on the High Street side, an addition is proposed with a garage and a shed area, like a storage area behind it, and a new cellar entrance, because in the back we're going to put a deck that brings you down to grade from there where the existing cellar entrance is. So we're going to move the basement entry to what would be the front on High Street and have the driveway access the garage. The grading is primarily the same. So on the High Street side, there'll be a slight adjustment to the grade just because of the introduction of the driveway and the little walkway to the basement entrance. On the east side, there will again be a high point. We're going to move it back a little bit and then just create a very gentle swale to direct water towards the front. We are slightly reducing the lot coverage, so we're not required to provide any specific stormwater improvements in that regard. And this property is a little unique in a couple of other aspects. One is that the owner is interested in gardening. She obviously has an interest in the landscaping and gardening aspect of it. When I did the survey and was out doing some of the field work, we chatted for a few minutes, and it was clear that that was an intent and that they don't want a sprinkler system. So they actually like the water on the property. So when it rains, they invite that for the plant life. On the east side here, there's a bit of a berm in between the two properties, our property and the neighbor on Springfield. So what I'm proposing to do is sort of extend that slight berm a little bit around to the frontage. It's not big, but it's enough to sort of steer and contain stormwater. So what'll happen effectively is stormwater on this side will come down and flow across the yard and then get corralled by this slight berm in the front. That'll be landscape, which is a little bit different feature and is kind of a nice way to approach it in that regard. The house is also a little unique in the stormwater aspect, and I actually went back to the property because I was like trying to remember like what was going on with the gutters. There are no gutters on the house. It has, overhanging roof that just flows directly off. So that distributes the runoff from the house and also creates, a situation where normally we're like, what do we do with the roof leaders? And we don't want the point discharge. Well, we don't have that here. We're going to have a couple of roof leaders that I expect will be part of the addition, and those will just be discharged at grade to flow out and spread out on the lawn like the rest of the runoff from the roof. So from a stormwater standpoint, I think the existing condition is fine. I didn't see any indication of flooding or problematic issues, and we're slightly reducing the lot coverage, so that shouldn't change in that regard. And with these enhancements to the landscaping and a little bit of the grading with the berm, there should be no negative impacts to the neighbor or the street. That said, there are a few variances, obviously. The side yard along High Street, the addition is coming closer. We're in a conforming condition now, and we're moving to a condition where at the back end it's 8.1 and 9 feet in the front of that addition. So that's a non-conforming versus the 12-foot that's required. And we have the building coverage is a variance. It's a pretty minor variance, but it is a variance nonetheless. The alternative, we talked quite a bit about this plan and the idea, and there was some discussion about maybe a detached garage, but we felt like this was a better alternative generally for the house, the aesthetic, the design itself. And to do a detached garage, you'd probably have to sort of park it in this back corner here, which would have less yard available and a little more impact on the neighbors. So while we're over on building coverage, we probably would still be over on building coverage if we were putting a detached garage based on the numbers as well. But this, I think, presents a much better design alternative for the property. I believe that the screening and in terms of impact to the neighbors is in a very good position. Certainly with regard to the neighbor on Springfield Ave, you can see I have these row of evergreens that were surveyed, along the neighbor's pretty substantial adjacent garage, the detached garage there. So on this side of the property, it's already some good screening, very mature screening on that side. And so any enhancements that happen in here with landscaping, will just build on that. And removing the driveway from that side, I think, is a net improvement to that aesthetic on that side. It's a little tighter over here, but the Lindemans have spoken with the neighbor on High Street and Springfield Avenue about this project. They seem to be in support of it. There was some discussion with the neighbor on High Street about coordinating some screening over there. There is some smaller, like arborvitae type vegetation that's right along where the addition is planned on the neighbor's side. So it's on the other side of the fence, but it was so small that it didn't really register for my survey, but I drove by there again in preparation and noted that. So there's a little bit of screening that's there now. They're going to work with the neighbor to enhance that. I think, as Mr. Linson indicated, would probably be a good approach. So I don't think that the setback, while it's non-conforming, should be a problematic or intrusive issue with the neighbor along High Street, which would be the one most affected. They also have, along that side, their driveway is closest to our boundary there. And as you can see, their house is set back a pretty good distance because of that driveway that comes around and does a rear load. So in terms of the impact, it's sort of the least potential impact for that neighbor, given their arrangement as well. So all that said, I think it's a good application. I think the engineering and the stormwater aspects will be well managed and an enhancement over what's existing. And the benefit of this yard area will be good not only for the homeowner, but for the neighbors. And I can take questions or run through the memos if I missed something, which I might have.
Ms. Raffay?
Let's see, so, because there's a decrease in impervious coverage on the property, they're not required to do any stormwater mitigation. I was concerned about the downspouts and where the roof leaders were going, but it sounds like you have that all under control, so there'll be, as long as there's no impact to the neighboring properties, I think you're good. I do have a question about the driveway opening and the reduction of that size for the neighbor on Springfield Avenue.
Right.
So it's now been reduced to a 12-foot opening with really not a flare on the apron at all. I think it's allowed to be bigger than that. And I'm thinking this neighbor is gonna be, turning their car into that driveway, and I think they're gonna be hitting the curb.
Well, on the right side, that part of the apron, that's existing. So it's really what we're doing is the left side where there's a big wide apron that covers both driveways. We're gonna bring that back, but we could certainly make an adjustment to have that flared a little bit and coordinate with them, and we'll, they've seen the plan, but we can show them a plan again before we do final permitting to make sure that they're comfortable with what we're presenting and the movement that would result from it.
Right.
But I think it's functional.
Okay, well, that's good. I just don't want to see somebody slowing down too much to get into their driveway, backing up other people on the road.
Right.
Because there's not enough of a drop curb on there.
Should we make that a condition that they work with
Yeah,
the neighbors?
is that a loop drive in the front of theirs too? I don't know if it goes around, but it's.
Functional and code compliant?
Yeah. Yeah, it's more about pulling in though, I think.
They probably have a turnaround space on the left side of the house.
Yeah, it's sizable drive. I think it's just about this movement coming in, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all I had. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to quickly touch on a few things. You had touched on the side yard variance, the front yard setback variance. There's an existing condition of a front yard setback variance.
On High Street, yeah.
You're presenting an architect, correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so I'll
yes.
imagine you'll cover that as well, as far as the FAR as well, and the overall number of variances. In addition to that, we have a basement stairwell encroachment. the exterior basement is being revised and relocated towards the front yard.
That's right.
Also-
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing to point out. I think you had estimated, it's not dimensioned, obviously, you had 27 and a half feet. I think at the nearest point, it's closer to 25 and a half feet.
25.
At sort of the top of the steps there. So in terms of that number, but yeah, I mean, that clearly is an encroachment into that front there, and I think it shouldn't have any substantial impact, but it is certainly an encroachment into that front yard.
Okay. Also, for purposes of informing the board, there's also a variance for the garage, which way it faces, correct?
Right, it's facing the street, that's right.
And in your professional opinion, looking at this configuration of the property, and I know you talked about the relocation of the driveway and possibly a accessory garage or a standalone garage. In this condition, it's facing towards High Street.
Right.
In this condition, and you're sort of improving then the access to the lot based upon taking a driveway off of Springfield Avenue, which is more of a heavier traveled roadway, to a lesser traveled roadway of High Street. So therefore, there is that trade-off.
Correct, yeah, and in my opinion, that's a good trade-off to relocate that access to High Street.
Okay.
It's definitely much lower traffic there.
The driveway itself and the one-car garage, that's really only going to accommodate 2 cars, correct?
That's right.
So, and I'll let the architect describe how many bedrooms there are in the facility. We had a question.
Yeah, we did talk about it briefly. I believe he said there were 6 bedrooms in the house that exist.
Okay.
So it's a fair point that technically we would be required by RSIS to have 3 parking spaces.
Yeah.
So 2 parking spaces is a deficiency in that sense.
Okay. So you're looking
you
at
know,
a de minimis exception?
Correct.
From that requirement?
Correct.
Okay.
And in this case, the Lindemans are, as they say, a one-car household. So, you know, certainly in terms of their tenure in the house, shouldn't present an issue. Plus, the shed aspect of this actually strengthens the idea that the garage will be used. Often when you have a one-car garage, it ends up many times that you put your snow blowers and your equipment in there and you don't end up parking in there. I think having the shed makes a stronger position for actually using the garage.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions.
Thanks, Ed. Questions from the board for this witness? Seeing none. Oh, go ahead, Don.
Come on, you gotta be a
The
question.
basement stairwell, that's open, or is it built up?
It's gonna be open.
So where does that drain to?
Well, I'm sure there'll be, you know, a small drain in the bottom of it that ties in with the footing drain for the addition.
And it goes
That's
to the sump
typically
pump.
how they do it, is, you know, into a sump pump and then has a discharge point somewhere, yeah.
Questions from the public for this witness? Seeing none. All right, let's talk to your architect.
So you can see.
All right, if you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
And please state your name, spell your last name.
Michael Shirella, my last name is spelled Chiarella.
Thank you, and I believe it's been a little bit of time at least since the last time
Yeah.
you were here.
Yes.
Could you briefly describe your background and experience for the board?
I'm a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey. I've been practicing in the Summit area for the last 25 years, in which case I've appeared before this board many times, and also surrounding towns.
Any questions? I may have missed it, but license is in New Jersey in good
Yes.
standing? All
Yes.
right. Any questions from the board, or would you like to accept them back once again?
We would. Welcome back. Please proceed.
Thank you. Okay, just to recap what we're doing, we're on a corner lot, Springfield on High Street, and we are trying to add a one-car garage to the back of the house with the driveway access from High Street. This garage addition will also bleed into overlap the existing house with a small pantry addition. And in the back of the garage, we're going to also have a little area for storage. One thing Jessica did not say is that she's passionate about gardening. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to afford her a little area so that she can put her garden tools behind the garage. And then in this little pocket between the addition and the existing house, we're going to fashion a deck that leads out from the kitchen area to what we would be calling the backyard. It's actually the side yard, but that's going to be like an open landscape area that will be enjoyed by the deck. So we're asking for some variances. Let's start by talking about the front yard setback variance that we're asking for. We're in violation by about 10 inches. The reason why I am in violation is because I'm taking the garage door and I'm bumping that out a little bit just to give it like a little bit of a detail, so that we don't have one plain wall from the pantry to the garage. So we're doing just where the doors are, just where the garage doors are, where we're bumping out a little bit. And this also helps us with the design, that we're able to play with roof lines a lot better. There's like a cascade of roofs that the existing house has, that you can see, like as we from High Street, you see that on the right-hand side. So what we want to do is we want to maintain that design strategy of a cascade of roofs from with our addition. So we have a hip roof, an existing hip roof on the second floor towards the back side of the house, and we're reflecting that in our addition, and then making the hip roof for the addition. Then we're cascading a little bit down further, just over the projected garage door, so that we're being very playful with roof lines, which I think is going to be very sympathetic to the roof lines to the existing house. We're also in violation of the side yard setback with the garage addition. So really what we're doing is, this is the first floor plan. We made the garage from the existing house exterior wall. We made the garage just like wide enough that we could fit one car with the ability to open up doors and to be able to, without hitting the walls. So the garage is going to be 11 foot 4 inches wide. And to make that happen, we're encroaching into that side yard about 4 feet. So we're still maintaining good 8 feet away from the property line. Andrew was talking about the alternative about putting a detached garage in. And we're not considering, if we did that, just wanted to say that that detached garage would be actually 4 feet closer to the side property line, even though it would be conforming because it's a detached structure, it would be conforming with side yard. But it would still be closer to the neighbor's properties than what we're proposing. So regarding the basement access, it would have been possible for us to configure a stairway that would not be in violation, that would be within the envelope of the building site, of the buildable area, I should say. But if we tried to do that, it would end up looking like a basement entrance. And we didn't want that. We wanted to elevate that entrance to be something, because it is facing High Street, and it's something that will be seen from, from the street. So we wanted to elevate that to like a better design. We're putting a pair of French doors, nice French doors, putting like a set of straight, simple, more pleasant stairs to access that area. And also, it should be noted, we're not going all the way down to the basement. The doors are actually going to be just high enough that it's going to be in the basement level. But once we walk into the basement from the French doors, we're going to be walking down additional stairs. So again, we're trying not to have that to be like the feeling of a basement stairs. We're elevating that to a higher level. Regarding building coverage, we are over building coverage. Just like in a nutshell, the existing footprint of the house, plus our addition, plus the porch, that all conforms to building coverage. It's when we introduce our deck. The deck is really what's putting us over. So we're asking for your approvals based on that for the deck as a violation. And again, the purpose of the deck, it's really like a great transitional area from the kitchen to the garden on the outside. We're going down about 5 steps from the deck to the ground. And also, the deck's not so big, we're just making it pleasant enough that they could enjoy some space on the first floor level before they hit the garden. And floor area ratio. I'd like to think that floor area ratio, what we're asking for is de minimis. We are including a small pantry that's given from High Street. If we take a look at the rendering, you can see that pantry element right here. And I think this is like this mass is like an important element to the design, that it's really helping to marry the garage addition to the existing house. So we just didn't want it to look like they were slapping on a garage addition to this vintage old house. So we're using that as like a way to really marry the two. And hopefully the rendering illustrates that nicely. And also part of that floor area variance that we're asking for is we've got a little mudroom stairway that leads from the first floor to the garage. If we had put in the door to the stairs at the top of the stairs, then the stairway would have been given to the garage, and it would not have been included. But we thought it would be better if we could heat that stairway, get a little small like cubbies at the bottom of the stairs, which you see right there, and then put the door to the garage at the bottom of the stairs. That would be more, better use for the Lindemans. But by doing that, we have to now consider that as living area. And I think did I cover everything? Record time. So happy to answer any questions.
Perfect, thank you. Board professionals, what questions do you have for this witness?
I do not have any questions for this witness.
Okay.
Just a
Ed.
few, Mr. Chairman.
Please.
Real quick. Regarding the garage orientation, it's a one-car garage. It is creating a condition where you could have placed the garage in another location to avoid front facing. But yet, this is maybe a two-sided question. As it relates to the deck and the utilization from the architecture and the interior of the building, can you talk about why the deck makes more sense there and the garage and its placement?
Yeah,
From the
so
standpoint of its relationship to the site.
yeah, so one of the things that inspired the Lindemans to take on this project is currently they have a driveway coming from Springfield Avenue to the right side of their house. And that's where they're parking their cars. And they hate it. They lose, in effect, a backyard. They don't have any other area that's like private for them. And so one of the things they want to do is they want to eliminate that side of the house for parking garage area, and they want to develop it into their garden, into like their like outdoor oasis. And for us to do that, it made the most sense to come up with this design, where we are actually taking the garage and just accessing it from High Street. I don't imagine we could have put an attached garage, access from High Street, slid back that where the front door would still not be in violation. You know, it's that 2 times the setback rule. I don't know that I don't know that we could have achieved that without looking like a frog on a log.
Regarding the overall building coverage, the dimensions of the deck, they're
Yes.
generally, can you describe that for the board? And it's sort of limited by the limits of the building, would you say? Sort of defined by the edges of the building?
Yeah, so in a nutshell,
It's not excessive.
it's not. So part of the strategy of laying out the overall footprint is that we try to maintain the line of the addition to match the line of the existing living room of the house. And then we took this proposed deck and we just flushed it out with the edge of the proposed addition. And then the steps themselves come down kind of like in front of that line. I don't know if I answered your question, but.
I think you did.
Okay.
I think you did. Regarding the garage, on the side that's facing the neighbor, what is on that side? Some windows?
Yeah,
Just in general.
yeah, so I have an elevation that I can point to. That would be this elevation here. We have a group of windows. They would be small windows high up so that you're not really like looking so much into the garage. So it'll be tight to the ceiling of the garage. And we also have an entrance that you don't see this view of the entrances from the east side, entering here, but we extended a nice overhang with a corbel that, with like a corbel support that mimics an existing corbel support of the house that's where the existing driveway entrance is.
You drew some design details.
Yeah, so we're trying to really take the spirit of the existing, detailing the existing design and bring it into our new work.
Okay. Regarding AC units, sorry, that was well asked, but there are 2 in the front, or 2 or so in the front of the building.
Yeah,
Are
facing
there
High
any-
Street.
Is there any more to be added in this design?
No.
You don't anticipate that? Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Thanks, Ed. Board, do we have questions for this witness?
So is does the basement have living space in it?
Yes.
Are there bedrooms down there? No. And then, we may have covered this before, but the basement stairs on the outside, they are actually encroaching on the front yard setback. Is that part of the variance?
Yes, about 2.5 feet, yes.
That's part of the variance, obviously.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Is there a different location that would work for them?
It would still be that same location. If push came to shove, we probably would turn it into a conforming stairway, but just would not be as attractive. So I'm asking for relief based on the idea that we're going to provide an attractive entrance.
I'm just struggling with the attractive description when half the door is below grade, and if I drive by the house, all I'm gonna see is the top of a door. that don't.
Yeah, and that's why
yeah.
I wanted to make that point, that the doorway to the basement is actually not at the basement floor. It's elevated a couple feet above the
Right.
basement door. So it's kind of like a half a flight down. It's really just enough that, you know, that the head of the door will match the ceiling of the basement. And so I could actually tell you that we're going down 1, 2,
7
3,
steps.
4, 5, 6, 7 steps.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And I know, I get the understanding as why the garage is where it is. But was there any consideration, I know you hate the Springfield Avenue entrance and exit, all that kind of stuff, but was there any serious thought given to building a garage on that side of the house facing Springfield Avenue, other than the fact that you don't like it?
Yeah.
I mean, you could move it forward and reduce the size of the driveway, make it its own separate driveway, have a yard behind a garage. And
Well-
then you'd still be within the building envelope, be a one-car garage. Yeah, you would lose the deck. So I guess there was some
I
consideration
have
to
a
that.
similar question, if I could just piggyback on that. That way we could just maybe do
Okay.
one. I guess my thought, you know, is the parking. If a house with 6 bedrooms should have 3 parking spots, and there are 2 parking spots. If you had put the garage in the area where the current driveway is, maybe you reconfigure the driveway so it doesn't have that little slopey attachment to the neighbors, just make it a straight driveway. There is room to put a 2-car attached garage on that side of the house, it looks like.
And have-
Correct?
Yes,
Yes.
and have access to Springfield Avenue still.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we did talk about, and that was something that was really dismissed by the owners, because, again, to their point, they're really disliking the idea of having a driveway where that's their only backyard on this house. And they would love to be able to remove the driveway and actually have a legitimate backyard as part of the house. And that's why we came up with the proposal that we did. And, you know, there's other benefits too. We don't have, all of a sudden, our access is not from the busy Springfield Avenue, it's now from side streets, so that should be, you know, it's a plus. And, you know, designing for the Lindemans, they only do have 1 car. I understand that your question about, like, you know, can we get like more parking than like a 2-car parking, 1 in the garage, 1 in the driveway. We were speaking with Andrew, and he was not suggesting, but he was thinking that we could probably widen the driveway so they could handle 2 cars in the driveway. If that's something that,
And which way would that be widened?
Probably towards Springfield, right?
yeah, that's what I would think, we widen to Springfield. So this way we still have like a decent buffer between ours and the neighbor's driveway. Am I right with that? I think Andrew has thought about it more than I have.
Yeah, I did think about it, and that would be an answer to providing a bit more parking. So right now, the driveway's 12 feet wide, and if we move this inside line that's closest to Springfield another 6 feet, it would be 18 feet wide, which would be enough to fit 2 cars side by side, so it would add an extra parking space effectively. It would add about 138 square feet of coverage, still be well within the permitted lot coverage, and also still well under the threshold that would trigger the stormwater requirements, and it wouldn't really change much else about the profile of the, you know, site grading or any of those things. So that could be an option if it was a, you know, compelling position for the board.
Was there any consideration with potentially stepping the garage back away from High Street by a foot or 2 versus extending it out because of the door and not having that one large wall between the I guess it's the pantry wall and the garage wall?
To make the pantry like less wide, so right now we're coming out with like a 4-foot addition for the pantry.
Right.
And you're saying like, what if that addition were like 3 feet?
Or rather the
Right.
garage, no, rather the garage was,
Flush?
no, stepped back versus stepped out, to give you that visual break on what that wall would look like.
Yeah, so for me, trying to design the massing to be sympathetic with the existing, it just made sense that that the garage should come out a little bit further. And again, I can play with that cascade of roofs by doing that and get like a nice overhang over the garage doors too. If we push that back, it would be changing the massing of the design, and I think it would be changing it for the worse.
Okay. And any other considerations besides a deck of what an outdoor space might look like if it were not decking?
Are you thinking from like the French, excuse me a second. So we have a wall of French doors here, and with the idea that we could have like a platform and then step down from the platform to grade.
Yep. I mean, if you had something like a patio, maybe a step to a patio that's not completely coverage? I guess it'd still be coverage.
Yeah, I think it's always nice to have something like some outdoor area that's on the level of the first floor, and it's not really a big deck. We're only coming out about 11 feet, so it's like just enough to put a small chair and a small table and chairs,
Yep.
something like that. So if we did something more modest, I guess it's possible, do we eliminate this wall of doors and just put a pair of French doors then? So this way we only need like a 6-foot wide platform. I think all of a sudden we're kind of like downgrading everything. If you were to take a look at the design of the this is the elevation of that side of the house, which I'm calling viewed from the backyard, which is the east side. You get to see the 3 French doors here. What we're doing is we're making, and this is like a shallow overhang, but we're making an overhang to be inspired by the existing front porch with like a gentle arch, wood posts. So we're making that as like a archway. That's part of the, that's part of the deck as a design element to kind of like marry again the design to the of our proposal to the existing. So I think when we scale back on that, when we scale back on that deck and we just turn it into like a platform with stairs going down, does this detail even make sense anymore?
Okay.
So it's something that could, I guess, be done. I don't know what the Lindemans think about that, but I would hope
Not
that.
asking you to do anything, just wondering what you
Yeah.
considered along
Yes,
as
yes.
you're designing.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you.
And if they added grass pavers, 6 foot wide worth of pavers to the asphalt driveway, would that could that count towards additional parking?
Oh, as far as grass pavers, allowing for a wider area to park?
Yes.
It doesn't run afoul of any other
That's what I'm trying to think.
the driveways.
I think it still counts as,
It'll still be covered.
it's still
But
coverage.
they're
Yeah.
well under lot
Correct.
coverage.
So we have
Yeah.
room for that, but you're looking at the aesthetics maybe for that
Right,
aspect. of
where
it.
it's not 18 feet of asphalt.
I believe they can do it, I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't create an issue.
No, I don't even know if
They
they'd want to
probably
do
would
it.
not, because if it's even considered as coverage,
Mhm.
I know some ordinances talk about not parking on the grass. You're parking on an improved surface, in other words. This is technically an improved surface,
Okay.
structurally. So therefore, that shouldn't be a problem. I just want to double check
Of course.
the ordinance, but you can keep going, and I'll get back to it.
So if there's any other questions?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. Questions or statements from the public? Seeing none? Okay. Andy, what do we have for conditions and number of votes?
So for conditions, I have first our usual compliance with the conditions noted in the board engineer's memorandum. Second, that the updated landscaping plan will be submitted to the city forester for review and approval. And the third possible condition, I think we're just waiting on an answer, but I get the sense that the board is considering or kind of likes the idea of adding that additional parking area to make sure there's no variance associated with the parking.
Did you mention anything about the neighboring driveway? Make that a condition?
Oh, I did also have a note with that as well. So I know it was represented that you would work with the neighbors regarding the removal of the driveway to ensure that their driveway remains functional. So as long as you're okay with noting that as a condition of the application, we would include that as well. Okay.
It should not be a problem,
Okay.
if that was to be a condition.
So how large an area were we talking about for that?
I think you were talking about 6 feet in order to make it a width of 18 feet.
And the applicant agreed? The applicant agreed, thank you.
Oh, great.
Okay, so the applicants will add a 6 foot, and how are we phrasing it?
6 foot turf paver, reinforced turf parking area.
Right, the pavers that allow the grass to grow through.
Right. Adjacent to the proposed driveway.
Or 6 feet.
Is that acceptable?
That's acceptable, yes.
Okay.
Right, if I can add to that, enough to park 2 cars side by side, so therefore we know the length of it as well.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Ed. All right, so with that, I think we should open up our deliberations. Who would like to begin?
I'm very concerned with that house. It's only a block or two from my house. And to me, it's always looked like the worst possible siting of a house you could possibly have in a lot. It just doesn't fit the lot. And I think the improvements that you're gonna do are well needed. And I think it's gonna make nothing but an improvement on the appearance of the house, appearance of the neighbors. It's a very unique house, very poorly sited. So I think this will, I completely support it, with the addition of the additional parking.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I was kind of struggling with this one because it is a lot of variances. The 8-foot, offset on the side where the garage is, there are a lot, there's a lot. And the parking one, I think, it's not just about the people living in the house now, it's about what precedent do you set for that house afterwards, who can later move into this house and have it be functional. So I'm still, I was a little torn. I think I could lean towards yes with the addition of the parking space. I do understand having lived on a corner lot and had the challenge of, where's my backyard? I do appreciate that challenge, and that this is the side where you have sort of the maximum space for enjoyment, that there is some compromise here. So I think with the parking, I could approve.
And just to clarify, those turf pavers, that eliminates the parking variance, doesn't it, or?
It eliminates the de minimis exception, is the technical phrase for the RSIS.
Okay. Okay, it's not a variance,
So
okay,
not a variance.
right. So they will have parking under those standards, or they will satisfy
They
the
would
RSIS, okay.
I do have one question about that, though, just the, thinking about it, the aesthetics of 12 feet of paved driveway and 6 feet of, I think it still has to, I almost wonder, is it going to look better to have 18 feet of driveway, then this, I don't know what the answer is. I'm just, you know, because it's just
I
come
was
up
going to
now.
try to ask if it turns out that it's a better aesthetic design to just have, because I think they're considering actually brick pavers for the driveway, not pavement. If to have that continuous brick pavers might look better.
Yes.
Would
Yes.
that be acceptable as
Yes.
far as the condition goes?
If I can also offer to that, is that it's easier to take care of snow on a paved surface
Yes.
than these grass pavers. It tends to beat up the turf over time.
And the testimony earlier was that even to do that doesn't create any coverage variances or any need for stormwater.
No,
Yeah.
it was
Right.
186 additional square feet? 138.
So the brick pavers, I think,
Right.
sounds better.
6-foot brick paver parking area?
No, the whole thing is, the whole driveway, it's going to be 18 feet wide of brick pavers.
The
Is
whole-
that
Right,
correct?
but they're adding a 6-foot brick paver
Yeah.
parking
Yes,
area.
yes.
Enough to park 2 cars side by side adjacent to the proposed driveway.
But I think just a note that it's the same material as the rest of the driveway is important, so that that has that cohesive look.
Mr. Curran? No? I also believe that, looking at these individually, I can understand and sympathize, and especially on a corner lot. I think that I too struggled with the totality of the variances. Some of the architectural moves, I believe you and agree with, and some of them, I don't know. That basement stair, if that somehow disappears from this design, I don't think that would be the end of the world. But I think your overall approach to this project is great. And I totally agree that moving the driveway off of Springfield to give yourself a usable backyard, I think that's a very noble and reasonable request of this board, and to have the safety factor of ingress and egress from a much quieter street makes a lot of sense to me. And I do agree that the overall architectural aesthetic is very complementary to an incredibly beautiful house. One of the most beautiful houses on the street by far. So to keep within that spirit and keep within the spirit of our DRO and our design guidelines, you are to be applauded for that. So I'll try and memory hole that stair, and get past it, and support this project. So with that, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Just, can we call the roll, please?
Vice Chair Zahn,
Yes.
Mr. Yuko,
Yes.
Mr. Nelson,
Yes.
Mr. Curran,
Yes.
Mr. Chanchuli,
Yes.
Mr. Neering,
Yes.
Chairman Leugitz.
Yes. Good luck. Thank you. Yes, please.
We have two resolutions for memorialization tonight. First up is 475 Springfield Avenue, zoning board application number ZB-25-2295. The eligible members to vote are Vice Chair Zahn, Mr. Nelson, Mr. Curran, Mr. Chanchuli, and Mr. Neering. Can we get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Vice Chair Zahn,
Yes.
Mr. Nelson,
Yes.
Mr. Curran,
Yes.
Mr. Chanchuli,
Yes.
Mr. Neering.
Yes.
And next up, we have 25 Essex Road, zoning board application number ZB-25-2293. The eligible members to vote are Vice Chair Zahn, Mr. Yuko, Mr. Nelson, Mr. Curran, Mr. Chanchuli, and Mr. Neering. Can we get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Vice Chair Zahn,
Yes.
Mr. Yuko,
Yes.
Mr. Nelson,
Yes.
Mr. Curran,
Yes.
Mr. Chanchuli,
Yes.
Mr. Neering.
Yes.
Thank you. We have no minutes for memorialization tonight.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Just before we do that,
Oh.
just a real quick question.
Yes.
When you visit these, I think I know the answer, but I just want to make sure. When you visit the properties and the people come out and want to talk to you, I always say, I'm not allowed to speak to you. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So not about the substance of the case.
Correct.
Hi, how are you is okay.
Of course. But you feel like, sorry, can't talk to you. then you
Yeah,
gotta-
and I've had that. They
And
wanna talk
don't
and
accept
explain.
envelopes full of cash from them, you know.
I gotta give that one back. No.
But you can ask if they have a dog.
Yeah.
Good question, Don, but, yeah.
I mean, I knew the answer, but
No, it's good.
motion to adjourn.
Second?
All right. Thank you, guys.